Okay, we're with Tim Davis. Tim, how old are you?
33.
33. And how long have you been in... When did you first become involved in things on the street that weren't good for you, that weren't healthy?
And I was like 7 and 8, 7, 8, or 7 years old, 8 years old.
And what were those things that you did when you were 7 or 8?
Stealing, breaking in houses, fighting, just coming up with a little gang of the homies in the hood, things of that nature.
Tell me a little bit about your life. When you were born, did you live with as you were growing up, did you live with your mom and dad, or who did you live with?
I come up with my mother, but in the process of when drugs was just real bad, I was back and forth from my grandma to my mama's house and of that nature.
When you were with your mother, who in your family had drug problems?
My mom had drug problems, and all the dudes and all the females that was around my mom, that's what really made my life really turn out the way that it is right now, because everything that I seen then, I'm thinking that it was right, but as I got older, it was wrong for us women, selling their bodies, getting high, dudes beating on women, just seeing different things that a dude ain't supposed to see with my eyes. Really, I got robbed of my innocence and my youth, seeing murder. You hear me?
When you were 7 or 8?
When I was 8 and when I was 12, was coming up in the projects. So
you grew up in violence.
Violence.
What could have prevented you from taking the negative path that you took? If you'd have had, say, a mentor in your life or some positive person in your life, would that have helped you?
The only thing positive back then was the boys club. In the boys club, they kicked us out for us gang fights or just saying we was some troublemakers, but all along, it wasn't it. We was just some little dudes trying to do what it took to, get back.
So the boys club, the very place that was supposed to be helping you, kicked you out.
Kicked us out to the streets.
Did you understand why they kicked you out?
I didn't understand then, and still really don't understand now, because that was the only thing that could have helped me back then, because I was good in sports, quarterback, point guard,
So why didn't you pursue that path instead of the negative path? The streets just were stronger than the positive path?
Like I say, I love sports, and I did my school work, but when I come home from school, I ain't got the boys club, I got the streets, and the dudes that's in the street with me, they was more influential than the dudes is now. You had to stay loyal, you had to prove yourself 24/7.
How old were you when you first got into a gang?
I was 11.
11?
11 years old.
Which gang was it?
Shorty folks.
In Little Rock or North Little Rock?
North Little Rock.
So you were 11.
Yeah.
Were you recruited? Who recruited you into that? Or how did you find out about the Shorty folks?
Really, how the nation come to me. They come to me. I didn't go to them because I come from Little Rock, West Side, Highland Court, and they didn't like dudes from Little Rock back then. So really, me and my brothers and my cousin, and we was fighting these dudes every day. So from fighting and shooting, it just went from say, man, you want to be a part of this here, and being that I was tired of fighting and running from these dudes every day, I embraced it as a family, and I pledged wholeheartedly to stay loyal to them.
So the Shorty folks became your family.
My family, my second family.
What did they do? Tell me how that you thought they were your family. What did they do for you?
They was, back then, everything that we pledged back when we was young, you really kind of believed it, but, through all these years and just seeing how friends turn to foes and the opposite of love, from hate to betrayal, from loyalty, just seeing all that there, I just realized that the dudes that come up with me back then, they didn't hold their word. They wasn't real. You feel me? So, but today I don't know. Today I don't know why kids get in gangs now, cause it ain't even about gangs no more.
What's it about now?
It's how I see it from coming up in it to now. I just see it for us. You know what I'm saying? Just it's about getting money now.
So it's all money now.
It's about money. It ain't. I'm talking about today. I don't see why dudes in gang from Chris Bloods, Vice Lords, or Disciples, cause it don't even hold no weight for us with the new generation, cause they really watered down and misled, and you know when I come through, it was dude place this in your hand and you hold it down and you don't ask no questions, and the reason why you didn't ask no questions cause you didn't have no father figure, no big brother to come back and fight the older dude that had you out on the streets doing this and doing that there.
So a mentor would have helped you.
But he had to be militant like them Panthers, some Bobby Hears and some Heary News now. Bobby Sears and Heary News. He had to be like that there to hold a dude down back then, them type of mentors.
So a positive mentor wouldn't have helped you?
No.
Were you good in school, grade-wise?
I was good grades, everything. I was good all the way around.
How far did you get in school?
I made it to the 8, but I was in and out of training school all my youth. So when I go to training school for 9 months or 6 months, every time I get out, they'll put me in they'll up my grade up.
So training school, you mean the Division of Youth Services?
Yeah, Officer Youth Service.
Did you go to Alexander?
I went to Alexander, Knox, and Nels, all through juvenile my whole entire life.
So being in the system didn't help you?
It didn't help me, but it made me not want to come back to the system. But when you just a part of that, when you're a part of something, it's just in you. Even though no matter where you go, it's always going to come at you. It's like me, no matter what I do, I attract, you know what I'm saying, dudes, this nation, strong dudes, I attract them to me, but I be wanting a different life, you know.
Tell me what you would tell an 11-year-old. That's when you said you first started. You saw the violence when you were 7, but tell me what you would tell an 11-year-old right now that was looking up to somebody on the street. How would you want them to repeat your life? If you had an 11-year-old child, what would you tell them?
That's what I was finna say. Being that if I had a child, my child would be 15, 16, or 11, I want to tell my child, or tell my child friends, or tell my nephews, which I got nephews, that being in a gang ain't what it is. You know, just staying in school, you know, working hard, you know, staying low and dedicated to your family, and just, you know, trying to be something better than a gang member. Cause really, when you see a gang member out there in the streets, really, you know, death promised to them or the penitentiary. Really, you in the gang, you gonna get covered up or locked up. That's your only options. But while y'all out there and y'all 11, 12, man, y'all need to enjoy y'all life, you know, participate in good programs, and, you know, just stay focused and, you know, keep it real with yourself, man, because trying to prove yourself to the next person gonna get you in this white, you know, gonna get you shot up, you know, gonna have your family crying, gonna have you crying, because it ain't all what it seems. When you see them dudes out there riding on them candy toys, them big rims, on the backside of that, you know, in the penitentiary, we got a whole squad wagon. And when you see them dudes living in them big old houses, on the backside of that, that's the penitentiary. And when you see dudes walking in them Nikes and them Jordans and them Air Maxes, the backside of that is some penitentiary brogan boots. And you know, it ain't no love in prison. It ain't no love incarcerated. I'm talking about you're on your own. You can't trust your homeboys. I'm talking about they'll sell you out. So, you know, all I'm saying is do what's in your heart that's right. Cause I'm a gang member. I've been active for 22 years. I've been putting in for 22 years, and my outcome is a white suit. I got a lot of homeboys in the ground. I got a lot of homeboys with life without sentences. And all I can say is just, you know, take it one day at a time and do something positive. Because trying to prove yourself to a man, you're going to lose. You can't never meet his standards. He always going to expect more. I wanted kids. I don't have kids, and I looked at the dudes that's younger, like my homeboys that ain't here no more, that's dead, that got life sentences. When I was released from prison, I was treating them as they was my own kids and little brothers and nephews, and I was telling them things that was right. I was working with them, and I was telling them that the road that we went down, when the road today, they don't got to go down that road. So all I'm saying is, to the TV world, it's real in the field, and stay focused.
When you, the first crime you were, first serious crime that you went to adult prison, what was that and how old were you?
I was 17, just turned 18 for murder, first degree murder.
Were you high when you did that?
Yeah, I was high. But back then, you know, dude was trying to prove himself and keep a rep and hold it down for the hood. Holding it down for the hood got me 30 years. And to be honest, I was innocent. But I took 30 years on a murder cop.
When you were in prison for that, your mother died, right?
Yes, sir. My mom got murdered. You know, that was really what messed me up, you know, mentally, because my mom and my granny was all that I had. But, you know, being that happened to my mama, I don't know if it happened because of, you know, my past dealings in the street or dudes that, you know, that I done had rivals with. I don't know, but, you know, that's what hurt me the most, losing my moms.
You were locked up when that happened. Did they let you go to the funeral?
They denied me, and the reason why that they denied me, they say that I was a menace to society.
Did you feel like you were?
No, I just, you know, just coming up, I felt like the things that I was doing, I felt like it was right then, but as I got older, I realized it was wrong. But now I don't feel like I was a menace. I just feel like really somebody just had to just listen to it, dude. You know.
So you didn't get to go to your mother's funeral. Mm-hmm. And then your grandmother died too. Mm-hmm. And you were in when that happened.
Yeah, I was still incarcerated doing the same 30-year sentence.
And your grandmother raised you.
My grandma raised me.
So you did get to go to her funeral.
Went to her funeral.
How did you feel? I mean, did you...
Them two women there, you know, that was my word. You know, the only thing that kept me strong, I was just thinking about Job. How Job lost everything and how my grandma and mama want me to be doing better. You know, that's the only thing that kept me sane, because I could have went crazy. I was this close from going crazy. But I said and thought every day how my mama and grandma want me to be doing something better and something positive. That's why I had all the intentions to go out there and do what I had to do in order to lead a productive life. You know, I wanted a family, I wanted kids. Like I say, all my homies is out there that's doing their thing. They ain't there for their kids like we pledged and vowed that we would be as we was to have kids. But I was trying to have me a family and kids. That's what I wanted more than anything, a family and kids. If I had to give my life up, I'd give my life up for my kids. You hear me? I'd be that Abraham. How he finna sacrifice his son. I'll be that sacrifice for my kids.